The broadcast you're about to hear is a special sports presentation brought to you by WPEX-FM 90.9.
Hey, take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Welcome everybody to Miller Field. I'm John Hart, and it's time for now exciting Dixie Youth Baseball. Brought to you by Radio Shack here in Blackstone, Southside Electronics, and of course the accounting surgeons and crew. Mary Strotter will do your taxes. But anyway, right now we're going to do some baseball. I'm John Hart, right here at Miller Field in Blackstone. And this will be the first game of the doubleheader that will be played. Last night we were in crew, and a close game of the VFW and the VFW and of course Rotary went at it, and Rotary lost that game, but only by 1 run in a last 2 outs, and a heartbreaker. But anyway, congratulations VFW with a well-played game, and I got to say congratulations also to the Rotary, which played an excellent game too. Just unfortunately they came up. Well, tonight's contest was Dunn Construction. It's going to be going up against Eppes Supply. And as we of course get all of our levels set here, we'll be ready to go in a minute. Frank Walker will be umpiring behind the plate for both games. Got it, kind of getting things a little bit late because we had a little bit of rain that happened about 15 minutes ago. But there was just one of those passing over the clouds, but we do have a lot of clouds in the sky. In fact, it's kind of overcast now. We got some breakups up there, but that's 40% chance of rain. I'm going to be by myself today, so I'm going to be just kind of switching the camera by myself. And anyway, we're going to just kind of have to do the best we can. Okay, here comes the first batter for Eppes Supply is going to be Tyler Barham. Excellent player. This is the minor league, of course, as we started soon. Okay, pitching for Dunright is going to be Jackson. Jackson now is going to wind up, and the first pitch is going to be high. Frank Walker is going to call that a strike number 1. So 1 ball and no strikes here. Kind of different last night. I was in the press box doing the audio for the Rotary and the VFW. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss will be in there for strike number 2. 1 ball and 1 strike here as we're just getting things started. Just getting things started at the top of the first. No runners on base. 1-1 situation. That one's going to be high, and it's going to be a little bit inside too. That's going to be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, it started out raining. We didn't know if we were going to play today. We made a decision about 15 minutes ago to go ahead and do it. Here comes the next pitch way inside. But Tyler Barham, I'll be 3 balls and 1 strike. Actually, I must have missed one because now it's a ball 4. Okay, Tyler gets on first base for Eppes Supply. And of course, we have a little discussion here on the mound, as you can see. Now they're going back to their respective places. Tyler on first base. And usually they're going to send him on this. He's a good runner and got a lot of speed. So here comes Irvin Downey. Here comes Jackson with the pitch. It's going to be high, being there for ball 1. Jackson's just got to get that target so he can get things happening. Kind of nice being back here in the White Elephant after being over there in crew. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. The ball is thrown wildly over everybody's head, and big Tyler Barham, number 23, will motor on down to second base. And with no outs, Eppes Supply has got a runner in good position of scoring. no outs. We got 2 balls. 2 balls and no strike now. Jackson now looks, winds up, throws the ball, and there goes Tyler hitting on down to third base. And the ball actually was thrown to the third baseman and hit Tyler in the head. And an overthrown back, and Tyler is going to score. Wow. Well, in base running, and already it was a 3-0 pitch. A couple of bad throws, and kind of just ran Tyler all the way around, and Tyler Bourne gets on in there for run number 1 for Eppes Supply. Here comes now the pitch, and up is hard hit ball, and it's going to be down the third base line, and he's going to get a base hit on that one. Wow, how about that? 3, and that was Cameron, by the way. Well, I'm sorry, not Cameron. I mean, that was Irvin. Yeah, Irvin Downey, and this brings Ben Axons that's up. Ben Atkins. So with Atkins that is up, runner on first base, one's already scored. Here comes Jackson with a pitch way high, and that'll be in there for ball 1.
Give me a strike, man. A stroke.
1 ball and no strikes here at Miller Field. And a little bit of a breeze blowing. Here comes down the next pitch. And a hard hit smack right to the third baseman. Runner will get to second base. And also a nice smack by Atkins. And that brings up Tyler White with the runners on first and second.
Hey,
wow.
Who bats up though? We need a lineup. All right, Hunter.
So the runners was on first and second right now.
Come here. You're not all day.
Here comes the.
Get in here.
Here comes the runner. I mean the batter. Oh, I'm all mixed up. The batter, Tyler White, will be up. And it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to let him pitch. A little controversy. We'll tell you about that when we come back after in a little bit. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll be in there for strike number 1. And that's 1 ball and 1 strike now to Mr. Tyler White. Tyler's been known for all-around player. He can pitch, he can hit. One of these players that can play just about any position. Here comes the next pitch. Hard hit ball into right field. And nice hit. There goes Tyler out. He'll round second base. Another run is going to score. They're going to send another one in. And they're going to try to make it 3. They're going to try to throw the ball in. They will not get him in time. And actually, Tyler White will get an infield home run with Tyler White. And that's going to make it 4-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. Boy, Tyler wound up and, man, hit that ball. He had 2 men on and hit it to right field. And if there's any place to hit it at, that was a great place to hit it.
Can you run there, Mo?
Well, as it turns out now. Now, here's Morrison is up. I believe that's Momo. See what Momo can do. Nobody on base right now. That one comes right in there. This time it's a strike number 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the next pitch in the windup. And this one's going to be a little bit short in there for ball number. They say got 2 balls. I thought there's only 1 ball up there. We'll see what happens. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes down the next pitch. And that one's going to be ball high. That's going to be 3 balls and 1 strike. So let's see what Momo Morrison can do. Another player that's got a lot of wheels on it. Way outside, ball 4. And that will put Momo on first base. And here comes the Dunn right. Coach is going to come out and talk to his pitcher. Just like that, it was 4-0, and in a blink of an eye. Now at 6, they scored 2 more runs, they will switch sides. And you can see the meeting of minds at the mounds. So they can see if they can get Jackson, see if they can get him on target here. Hasn't quite found a target yet here at Miller Field. So runner on first. That's Momo for Eppes Supply. Here comes Jackson. Shoots that one down there, and there's Momo. Heads on down to second base, and he gets that one very, very easily. As you can see, there he is on second.
You ready to roll, Mo?
So here we go. Get ready to roll, Mo. Jackson now looks. Gets ready to wind up. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be in there, ball high. The runners on second base has Momo Morrison. It's up.
Keep away, don't you, Mo?
Here comes down the windup by Jackson. And that's what's going to be way inside. And Momo is getting ready to go down. Well, he's halfway there. If you look at him, he's trying to taunt now. Poor Jackson. Well, all right. Jackson's composed himself on the mound now, getting ready to pitch it. That one's going to be a little bit high, and that'll be in there for ball 4. And that's going to be another walk by Eppes Supply. The runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Owen, I believe. Tyree will be on deck for Dunn. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong thing again. Oh boy. That's good. I think this is Elvis that's up. Matter of fact, this is Michaela Elvis. That's right, she is a girl, but she can play. She can hit pretty good. She can field pretty good. She's a good player. Runners on first and second. They lead 4-0 actually. Here comes down the pitch and a hard hit ball, and it goes foul. Now bring up strike number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Inside that line, you run.
Right now, Jackson's got a 1-1 count with Michaela. And a little bit of wind blowing, as you can hear on our microphone for the field. Here comes now the pitch, and it's going to be a swing and a miss.
That's a good cut, though.
And that's be in there for strike number 2. And there goes a misthrown ball, and everybody's going to a man, and a bad throw to second base. They're going to try to throw him home, and they're not going to get it. And the runner will go all the way to third base, and that's going to bring up 5-0. Well, if the guy on third base, runner on third base comes in, and that actually is, let's see. No, not blah, blah, blah. It's, Morgan is on third base. So if Morgan comes in, they'll switch sides. That one's going to be in there, and that was close, but they're going to call that a ball number 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Michaela. But either way, base hit is going to bring him home. As you can see, Michaela on third base right there. Jackson now looks, and he's going to wind up. Here comes delivery, and that one's going to be a little bit high. Runner still threatening to come in. And the count will go full, 3 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Russell will be on deck, then Nick Worley will follow him. So here comes down the next pitch. Jackson winds up. Ooh, that was close. Not close enough. And that will put a runner on first and second. So Michaela gets a walk out of that one after a full count spread there. And now they're going to have a meeting at the mound. The catcher and the pitchers are going to get together and see if they can get their target together. With runners on first and third.
Hey, Evan.
And it's 5-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. We hadn't even got out of the top of the first yet. Well, here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be in there for ball one. Nice backup right there by the left fielder that came in.
All right now.
And that was impressive for Dunn. We got 1 ball and no strike. Jackson now looks, he winds up. Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be outside. And Michaela will go down to third base. So runners on second and third now for Eppes Supply. 2 balls and no strike now to Mr. Russell. He is a left-hander. So here comes now the pitch. And it's going to be swing and a miss in there for Steve Wright, number 1. One thing that Dunn Wright needs to be careful, and they got already 5 up there against them. So what they don't want to do is throw the ball around and let any more runs just, inadvertently just come in on theirs. Here comes the next pitch, and this one's going to be Steve Wright, number 2. And the count will go 2-2. Well, the sun's trying to peek through a little bit here at Miller Field, but it's overcast skies. A little bit of wind will shoot up. Here comes now the pitch way inside, and nobody's going to try to come in. Everybody's going to stay where they're at. And that brings up a full count to Russell Hunter. If he walks, it'll bring up bases are loaded, and then, of course, Dick Worley will come up and see what he can do. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. And nice cut by Hunter Russell, but that will bring up the first out. Nick Worley is up. William Foster, of course, will follow, as the press box announcer said. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Runners on second and third for Eppes Supply here. And they're still in the top of the first. Only 1 out. 5-0. Here comes now the pitch, and that one's going to be in there for strike number 2. So just like that, he got 2 strikes and get that important second out. At least that ease up the pressure. At least they can throw it to first and get that final out. Here comes now the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike number 2.
That's a good cut.
And the runners will remain on their bases at second and third. So William Foster will be coming up. There's a time. And everybody's going to be meeting at the mound. Once again, it's the second trip out. The manager is allowed 3 trips. Well, let's see what they're going to do. A walk will load the bases up. But another run in they will switch sides no matter what. But at least Dunn Wright is not letting them go down too early. We got last couple of batters, got 2 outs.
Be a good stick, man.
Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be in there for strike 1. And here comes the play. And it's going to be safe. And that's going to do it. They're going to switch sides. So anyway, as we go to the bottom of the first, 2 men left on base. And the score is 5-0, and we're going to be right back right after this from Accounting Surgeons.
These are not your ordinary doctors. They are the accounting surgeons. Allow them to show you the personal attention it takes in order to receive every single deduction you deserve. The accounting surgeons and crew are here for you all year long, not just January to May. Whether you need tax preparation, payroll work, or bookkeeping services, call the accounting surgeons today. 434-538-0595. They offer very reasonable rates along with their year-round service with a smile. Located at 126 East Carolina Avenue in Crewe. The accounting surgeons are here for you. Phone 434-538-0595.
The best stuff ever.
Brought to you by Radio Shack.
I need a new phone, so I'll go to Radio Shack, take their advice, and buy a Sony Ericsson Z750 with AT&T service. It has a 2-megapixel camera, FM radio, and a web browser, so I can surf the internet. And then one day at a car dealership, I'll find the price of a car too high, but the salesman won't agree, and he'll throw me a challenge and he'll give me the car for free if I find it for cheaper, so I'll use the internet on my phone, find it for cheaper, and get it for free. And I'll owe it all to Radio Shack.
Don't just buy stuff.
Do stuff.
See your local Radio Shack dealer at Southside Electronics, Blackstone Square Shopping Center.
And we're back in jump. All right, back here at Miller Field, right here on. I'm John Hart, along with well, nobody else really. Just Amy sitting beside me. And that's just about it. No camera operators, but we're going to try to make out. Tyler White will start his pitching for Eppes Supply.
There you ready. Jump to the mid, Tyler White.
So, here comes down the pitch. Swing and a miss. There goes Tyler, just bulleting that one down there. Now be in there for Steve Wrighton, number 1.
Pop it again.
It's 1 ball, no strike. No, a nice throw by Tyler once again. And that's strike number 2. And boy, they're going to have a hard time hitting this joker. Here comes the next pitch. That one's going to be high for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jay is up, Cameron's on deck. Tyler White pitching for Eppes Supply. Here comes a pitch, foul back. And that's going to be in there for strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His count will remain. Tyler is your number 1 pitcher, and I'm going to grant to say in this league, he's probably the number 1 pitcher in the entire league for the minor leagues. And that one's going to drift in there for ball number 2. 2-2 comes the count. It's 6-0 so far in favor of Eppes Supply. Bottom of the first, and they lead 6-0. Here comes Tyler with a windup. Pitch way a little bit low. That one got away from him a little bit. And now it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes. With a count full, let's see what Tyler will do here. Tyler is good, I think, for at least 3 innings, I think. That's going to be what we're going to be talking about. Strike number 3, and that's going to be the first out.
1 down, gang.
So Tyler comes out shooting, and that will bring up Cameron. That's going to be coming up. The Mars will be on deck for downright construction.
Work hard, Dan.
Nobody on. Here comes the next pitch from Tyler White. He looks, winds up, and throws. And it was going to be a little bit outside for ball 1, and that was close.
Do it again, son.
1 ball, no strikes here at Miller Field. Bottom of the first. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. I'll be there for strike number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, one thing about Tyler White for the Eppes Supply, he's fun to watch. He looks, winds up. Here comes the next pitch. And he almost hit the man. And did he? No, he didn't. But still, that brings up ball number 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And a little peek of the sun coming out.
Zone that mid in there.
Nobody on. You can see on the video the sun's just coming out here. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. And very, very quickly, 2-2 now comes the count. Tyler White looks back at the dugout to the manager, trying to get a, what's the pitch? Here comes down the next pitch. Way inside, ball 3. The only trouble is it's another full count. That's 2 full counts in a row for Tyler White. And already throwing in a lot of pitches. Tyler looks. Here we go. He winds up. And this one's going to be foul back. And a count remaining 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. A nice little crowd actually out here at Miller Field. It is 3-2. Here comes down the pitch. And strike number 3. And that's the second strikeout for Tyler White.
Full count twice now.
Tyler White is just an excellent pitcher, and I don't know what else to say other than, I mean, there's not a whole enough you can say about him. Here comes down the next pitch. This one's going to be high, and this is DeMorris that's up. And so far, Tyler has retired every one of his pitchers by strikeouts. Here comes down the next pitch, and that one's going to be in there for ball number 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler needs to stay out of pitching a lot of these pitches, though, but he does have 3 more innings, and then they're going to have to switch him out. He pitched yesterday. Swing and a miss. Wow, that looked like one of Matthew Hart's pitches, and this kid is really laying them in there.
More time now.
2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes down the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike number 2, and one more is going to retire the side.
One big one there, Tyler.
So, 2-2 is the count. Here comes down the next pitch. That was going to be a little bit high. And 3 times in a row, we got a full count. Wow. That's 15 pitches he pitched so far, right in this bottom of the first. That's too many. Actually, here comes the pitch. And that one's going to be fouled back. Make that 16, and the count remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3rd time in a row, he got in the full count with Jay Cameron, and now he's in a full count with DeMars. Here comes now the pitch from Tyler White. Swing and a miss, strike number 3, and 3 up and 3 down, and the 3rd strikeout for DeMars. So, nobody left on base, there was no errors, and as we go to the top of the 2nd, it's 6-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. We're going to be right back right after this.
These are not your ordinary doctors. They are the accounting surgeons. Allow them to show you the personal attention it takes in order to receive every single deduction you deserve. The accounting surgeons and crew are here for you all year long, not just January to May. Whether you need tax preparation, payroll work, or bookkeeping services, call the accounting surgeons today. 434-538-0595. They offer very reasonable rates along with their year-round service with a smile. Located at 126 East Carolina Avenue in Crewe. The accounting surgeons are here for you. Phone 434-538-0595.
Greeks make more friends and express their individuality. When they learn to play some music, act or paint or dance or write creatively.
Hot from the toaster and filled with the essential creative thinking skills of an 18th century musical genius, Mozart Toasties are an important part of an arts-healthy childhood. Studies show that involvement in the arts helps kids increase test scores and promotes academic achievement. Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org. The arts. Ask for more. Brought to you by Americans for the Arts, the NAM Foundation, and the Ad Council.
And we're back here at Miller Field. Hello, everybody. I'm John Hart, and we are here in a, well, I don't want to say it's a gorgeous, because a lot of clouds in the sky, and a little rain earlier. Well, what we were talking about, the big controversy with Tyler White was that he had pitched 3 innings yesterday, and he's pitching today. They didn't know if he could come back so soon, so that was basically the pitch. Anyway, the ball is going to be thrown down now, and that means that we'll get ready to start. And they still got the bottom of the first, but it's actually the 2nd inning. All right, let's see who do we have up here. And that one's going to be in there for strike number 1. No balls and 1 strike. Now, not exactly sure who that was. I don't have any numbers here. But anyway, we'll just wing it. Here comes the next pitch. That's going to be in there for swing and a miss, strike number 2. I want to say this is Greg that's up. Well, no, let's see. Might be William Foster.
Don't hit it to left field.
All right. Don't hit it to left field. At any rate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And comes the next pitch. Way low for ball 2. Not sure who that is up there. I want to say it's Derek Gregg, but, well, no, you know what? It's William Foster who's up. I was right the first time. Greg will be on deck. Okay. Missed my color guy, Robbie Hart. He could help me out a whole lot if he was here. 3 balls and 2 strike now, but if he was here, he wouldn't be in Germany. If he is in Germany, I want to say hello to you, Mr. Robbie Hart. And that's going to be ball high, ball 4. And Dunn walks another player. Sometimes pitching is everything in this league, and right now, you got Tyler White on Eppes Supply, and he's just outdoing Dunn in the pitching zone, and because they're being walking a lot more than they've been striking out. It's 6-0. Here comes the next pitch. Ball way high. And now be in there for ball number 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Derek Gregg. Derek will sit there and tie his shoe. As you can see, tying his shoe up. Now he gets up and he's ready to go. William Foster right there is on first base. Here comes down the next pitch. And it's a hard-hit ball. And that one went foul all the way down there to the left fielder. But it was foul ball, so nothing's going to happen. Everybody's got to go back to their respective bases. 1-1 now is the count. Here comes Jackson now with the pitch. And that one's going to be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. I see William Foster hitting on down second base, maybe on his next pitch. We'll try to catch it. Here comes down the next pitch. No, he's going to stay where they're at. Not going anywhere. So that's 3 balls and 1 strike. And I guess you wouldn't send them with that many balls on the to 1 strike ratio. Jackson now looks, winds up. Here comes the pitch. Way outside, ball 4. And it's another walk with no outs. That puts Foster on second base, and that's going to put Gregg on first. And that's Tyler Bourne, I think, is going to be up. And they come to the top of the batting order. I think that's Tyler Bourne that's up. Elvin Downey will be on deck.
Ready to roll.
Here comes down the pitch. And that one's going to be way outside. And there goes everybody's going to be stealing. And we got runners on second and third with that little mishap. The pitcher just kind of threw it wildly. And unfortunately, they were able to advance the bases on that. So with no outs, Eppes Supply once again has got runners on second and third. Here comes now the pitch. And this one's going to be a hard-hit ball. And we're going to have one that's going to score. And here comes a runner down second. They're going to try to score this guy. And he slides in. And he makes it. That's going to be 8 now to nothing. And just like that, Irvin Downey gets Irvin Downey gets a double on a single on that one, but he drives 2 of them in. That brings up Ben Atkins. Here comes down the pitch, way high once again. There goes a runner down. Well, thought the runner was going to go down. As you can see, he turns around and goes back to first base. Oh boy, 1 ball and no strikes now to Atkins, Ben Atkins. Here comes now the pitch, and it was going to be way outside. And there goes a runner down second base, and he slides on in there. So with 2 balls and no strikes now to to Atkins. Runner on second base, and Tyler White is going to be up on deck. Ben Atkins would like to get on some way, somehow here. He's already got 2 balls. And halfway there for an on-base walk. Jackson now looks, turns around. Here comes the pitch. Way inside. Runners will not be going nowhere. 3 balls and no strikes, and he'll be taking this one. And that will bring up runners on first and second with Tyler White coming up.
Put the bat right on it.
Here comes the windup of Jackson. And this one's going to be fouled back, so everybody will go back to their bases. Runner on second base, as you can see. But they have no outs. 3 balls and 1 strike. So now here is the Jackson looks. He takes aim. Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be outside. Ball 4. And that will walk another run. And now runners on first and second. And the mighty Tyler White is going to be up. Last time Tyler was up, it ended up in an infield home run. And I think, before the season's out, I think you're going to see one go over the fence with this guy. He's that good of a hitter. He's been smacking the ball, though, lately. And he's got a good chance of doing it here. The Dunn coach came out and talks to his catcher for a few minutes. And here comes Tyler White up the bat. So no ball. It's now 8-0 here at the top of the second.
One more time, this meeting.
Here comes now the pitch. Hard hit ball, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. Here comes Tyler. That's going to be coming around us. They're going to send the runner in, and Tyler almost, I told you folks, Tyler almost put that one out of here. That one went all the way to the fence. I would say, I'm going to say that with probably at least a 160-footer. And a little bit more, 10, 15 more feet, and that ball would have been out of the park. 9-0 now is the score for Eppes Supply. Here comes out the pitch, and Tyler will take probably a big lead. Let's go see that. There's a big lead by Tyler. Runner on second. He's probably trying to tag him to throw the ball at second base so that runner can score. Wow. So we got 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the next pitch. That one's going to be way inside. It's going to be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Jackson is just having a rough time. Not only that he can't find the strike zone. Now he threw that one kind of high to Tyler White, by the way. And when he did, Tyler was able to just kind of chop at it and knocked it almost out of the park. Here comes now the next pitch. And that one's going to be way inside. Runners will stay where they're at. Now bring up 3 balls. Oh, actually, that was a strike. Bring up 2 balls and 1 strike. 9-0 here at the top of the second. 9-0. Wow. This game may not last that long. Here comes down the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That will be strike number 2. 2-2 now is the count. So Jackson trying to hit it down there in the middle where they'll swing at it, and of course they did. Runners on second and third for Eppes Supply. Here comes Jackson with a pitch way up, and that's going to make people's... Oh, they want to go in so bad, but they got back quick enough. And I thought the runner on third base for Eppes Supply was going to run on in. That had been 10-0. But they can be patient. It's 9-0 with no outs, so they can be patient, and they're about to load up the bases. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes now the pitch, and that's going to be strike number 3. That's in there for the first out. That's going to bring up Hunter Morgan. That brings up Caleb Avis on deck. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Here comes now the pitch. This one's going to be in there for, I believe I thought that was a ball. He counted a strike, so I'm going to say strike 1. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out. And the sun is actually starting to come out pretty good now. Oh, that ball was way high and inside. That brings up 2 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Morgan. Elvis will be on deck. Caleb Elvis. Hunter Russell will be in the hole. Here comes now the pitch from Foster. And that one's going to be right down there a little bit high, and that's in there for ball. They got ball 2, but I believe it's ball 3. Well, maybe it is only ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Well, last thing you don't want to do is have supply to load up again. Here comes the next pitch. And that was going to be low for ball 3. And unfortunately, Dunn is in a walkathon. So we got 3 balls and 1 strike. And this is going to load up the bases. Here comes now the pitch. And that was going to be in there. Strike number 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this is going to slide in and score another one. The catcher just kind of lost track of what he was doing. And actually, it wasn't Tyler White. It was Morgan was able to slide on in there, get in there for the next score. And that's 10-0. And about to walk another runner. Here comes the pitch. It's way high. They do walk another one. That was 3-2. And here comes the Dunn coach. And I think we're going to see a pitching change. That's going to bring JC that's going to be trying to pitch. So we're going to move him to pitching. And as he warms up, we're going to pause for just a quick commercial. We'll be right back right after this.
These are not your ordinary doctors. They are the accounting surgeons. Allow them to show you the personal attention it takes in order to receive every single deduction you deserve. The accounting surgeons and crew are here for you all year long, not just January to May. Whether you need tax preparation, payroll work, or bookkeeping services, call the accounting surgeons today. 434-538-0595. They offer very reasonable rates along with their year-round service with a smile, located at 126 East Carolina Avenue in Crewe. The accounting surgeons are here for you. Phone 434-538-0595.
And we're back here at Miller Field. I'm John Hart, calling the play-by-play for exciting Dixie Youth Minor League Baseball here. And, well, it looks like a lot of the clouds have kind of moved out, and the sun has come out as we got this, first game of the doubleheader. Lions and the Chamber will be coming up next. And Chamber, I understand, got beat by Legion last night from Crewe. As for the Rotary, got beat last night by VFW, but that was a close game. Legion actually beat the Chamber and was 8-4. One of the big problems that CC may have is one of their best players, Lily-Wop Powell, or Logan Lily-Wop Powell, they call him, may have a broken ankle. That could put him out for the entire season. Well, we're going to find out then what happened. That could be a big blow for the Chamber, especially as close as it is. And it could also be a big blow for the Major League All-Stars that are coming up, because Logan is a very, very good hitter. I know he's got, I think he's got 2 home runs on in the season. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. JC right there kind of winding up and warming up. I have no information on how the F Supply did against the Crewe team yesterday. But I do know one thing. I do know Tyler Wright pitched 3 innings. That was the controversy of him pitching today. So, well, nevertheless, we'll see. Now to add that in there, Purnell's Logan lost yesterday to actually Burkeville Market. Here comes down the pitch, swing and a miss, strike number 1. And the runners will go down to second base. And that's going to put runners down on second and third. And I believe that's McCaleb that is up. It is. JC is pitching. And that's going to bring Hunter Russell will be on deck. Here comes now the pitch, way outside, and the runners, well, nobody's really going to go on in. Thought the runner on, I believe that's Tyler White that's on third base. He wants to try to at least antagonize JC a little bit. But we got a 1-1 count with 1 out. It's 10-0 in favor of Depth Supply. All right. Here comes the next. I hear all that laughing and people know what's going on in the microphone. I'll tell you about that. That's going to be in there for strike number 2. The crowd mic is right above the visitors team dugout, so you can hear the kids and the coaches in there. Wow. Well, this game's been going 46 minutes so far. JC now looks, runners on second and third, throws the pitch way high to McCaleb. That's going to bring up a 2-2 count. Like I said, Hunter Russell will be on deck for Depth Supply. I think the game has got to go at least an hour and a half on a school night and 4 innings to make the game official. Here comes the next pitch. Way outside, ball 3. And poor Dunn still having those pitching problems. Count goes full, 3 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 out only. Putting McCaleb on first base will load the bases up. So we'll see what happens. You can see runners on second and third. Here comes now JC with the pitch. And this one's going to be a hit. They're going to try to throw it to first. Will they make it in time? No. And McCaleb, the only girl in the league, gets a base hit. Wow. Well, when it rains, it pours, I suppose. And now with bases loaded, here comes Hustle Runner. Hunter Russell. I'm drinking plain water tonight, folks. I'm not drinking anything else. Here comes now the pitch, and it's going to be swing and a miss. That's going to be in there for strike number number 1. Okay.
I don't think he's even he's like, yo, boy, so hairy, and it is with long hair.
So we got no balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. It's in there for strike number 2.
Come here, Benjamin wants you over here for the joke. Where's Tommy? No, what's the yo, boy, so hairy?
Trying to get my camera to do right. My cameras to do right here. Ah, there we go. I had the wrong button on. I'm doing the cameras too. I'm doing directing, play-by-play, switching the cameras, everything here today. All right. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Or not strike number 3. And that will take out Hunter Russell. And that brings up Nick Worley. That will be up. So JC has somehow been able to get 2 outs here without nobody scoring. Kind of a miracle in itself. Here comes now the next pitch. And that one's going to be in there. Is right number 1. And here comes the left fielder for Dunn coming over, backing up to third base. That's a good play. No balls and 2 strikes. The wind kind of whips up a little bit. 10-0 here at the top of the second. We're still stuck here at the top of the second. Swing and a miss. And in for strike 2. And a runner started to go in. Didn't make it in there. And JC is 1 strike away from ending this inning. So no balls and 2 strikes. JC now looks. Bases are loaded here. Here comes the pitch. And it's a swing and a miss, strike three, and he gets him out. So, with that, that will end the inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. It is Dunn 0, but Eppes Supply 10. We will be right back right after these messages.
Brought to you by Radio Shack.
I need a new phone, so I'll go to Radio Shack, take their advice, and buy a Sony Ericsson Z750 with AT&T service. It has a 2-megapixel camera, FM radio, and a web browser, so I can surf the internet. And then one day at a car dealership, I'll find the price of a car too high, but the salesman won't agree, and he'll throw me a challenge and he'll give me the car for free if I find it for cheaper, so I'll use the internet on my phone, find it for cheaper, and get it for free. And I'll owe it all to Radio Shack.
Don't just buy stuff.
Do stuff. See your local Radio Shack dealer at Southside Electronics, Blackstone Square Shopping Center.
What does your world sound like? That's geography. The music of the world around you. Geography is people, places, environments, and economics. Geography gives us the framework for understanding our world. But sadly, our kids aren't getting enough of it. Half can't locate economic powers like Japan and India, and 20% can't even find the Pacific Ocean. That's why we created MyWonderfulWorld.org. It's part of a free National Geographic-led campaign to give our kids the power of global knowledge. Go to MyWonderfulWorld.org to learn more and get your free parent and teacher action kits. It's a wonderful world.
Back here at Miller Field, I'm John Hart, calling the play-by-play. It's 10-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. Tyler White is still hanging in there for Eppes Supply. First one down there to JC, being there for strike number one. JC, the left-hander. So Tyler's just absolutely lighting them up today. Hard hit ball by JC. If that would have went straight, that would have been a nice base hit. But it went foul down the third base line. And now it'll be in there for strike number two. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, you'll probably see Tyler bring a fastball down here. Here comes down the pitch, and that one went way, way high. Looked like just kind of got out of control. It slipped out of Tyler's hand. And now bring up 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I just did.
Bottom of the second, here comes down the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And you can chalk another one up to Tyler White.
I'm flattered.
So that brings up Jackson. I believe it's up.
Playing right
so here comes Tyler White now with the pitch.
You are?
Tyler looks, winds up, but that one's going to be high in there for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes now for Jackson. Dwayne will be up next. Tyler now looks, winds up, throws, and that one's going to be outside. I'll be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
In the groove, good guy.
And here comes the next pitch. That's going to be outside. And I tell you what, Tyler has already thrown 3 balls right in a row. And he could walk the Dunn right player with only 1 out. That one's way inside. Ball number 4. That'll be a base on balls. So now we got a runner on first base for Dunn Right Construction. Dwayne is up, so they walk Jackson, and Monty will be on deck.
Yeah.
So everybody gets set. Tyler White now gets ready to throw. Here comes now the pitch. Outside. That's 4 in a row. Actually 5 in a row that Jackson. He looks back with a kind of a pouty look at the Eppes Supply's coach. Now he comes and pitches this one. And boy, that one just barely missed, a little bit high in there for ball 2.
Come on, Tyler.
2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first base now for Dunright. He'd like to draw a little bit of blood here. It's 10-0. Here comes now the pitch. That was going to be right down there for strike number 1. But you're not going to wait too much on Tyler White, that's for sure. Now with 2 balls and 1 strike, here comes the next pitch. And that one was awful close. Frank Walker, the umpire behind the plate, called out with a ball. And that brings up 3 balls and 1 strike. A walk will put runners on first and second with only 1 out. Here comes down the next pitch, but that one went right down the middle. And that was brings the count to full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
All right, Tyler. Got him last time. Do it again.
So Tyler needs to run this one right down there, and let's see what he does. He winds up. Here comes now the pitch, and that one's going to be kind of a poor throw, which was right down at the dirt. But it don't matter. Everybody will advance because it's a walk. So runner now is on first and second for Dunn. They have 1 out, but Eppes Supply's got a 10-0 lead. That's kind of the way it's been. Anybody that plays against Eppes Supply looks like this year. And a lot of credit has got to go to number 22, Tyler White. Here comes down the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 1. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Here at the bottom of the second. Here comes the next pitch. And this one's going to be swing and a miss. Strike number 2. And Dunn might miss a good opportunity to score. And this one's going to be a hit for Tyler White. He throws it to first. He gets it. And he throws it to second. And they don't get it. Runners will advance. And they got 2 down, but nobody scores. That ball was hit right to Tyler White. Tyler scooped it up and made the decision to go to first with an 0-2 count. Here comes now the next pitch. And that was in there for strike number 1. 1 ball. No balls and 1 strike.
I can do it again now.
Runners on second and third for Dunn. Here comes now the pitch. And it was just a little outside, but that was close. 1-1 now will come the count. Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be way inside. That's going to be in there for ball number 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's 10-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. Kind of one of those runaway games. Well, anytime it seems like when Tyler pitches, it's one of those runaway games. Here comes down the pitch. And that one's going to be a little bit low. Tyler will go back. Nobody will run in.
Just look at the runner. You know where he's going tonight.
And that brings up 2-2 count with 2 outs.
One more, Tyler.
Just 1 more, Tyler's the coach said. Here comes down the pitch.
Got it.
And that one's going to be strike number 3. And that will strand. So, 1 error. We got 2 men left on base. And as we go to the top of the third, it will be 10-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. We're going to be right back right after these messages.
The best stuff ever. Brought to you by Radio Shack.
I need a new phone, so I'll go to Radio Shack, take their advice, and buy a Sony Ericsson Z750 with AT&T service. It has a 2-megapixel camera, FM radio, and a web browser, so I can surf the internet. And then one day at a car dealership, I'll find the price of a car too high, but the salesman won't agree, and he'll throw me a challenge and he'll give me the car for free if I find it for cheaper, so I'll use the internet on my phone, find it for cheaper, and get it for free. And I'll owe it all to Radio Shack.
Don't just buy stuff.
Do stuff.
See your local Radio Shack dealer at Southside Electronics, Blackstone Square Shopping Center.
These are not your ordinary doctors. They are the accounting surgeons. Allow them to show you the personal attention it takes in order to receive every single deduction you deserve. The accounting surgeons and crew are here for you all year long, not just January to May. Whether you need tax preparation, payroll work, or bookkeeping services, call the accounting surgeons today. 434-538-0595. They offer very reasonable rates along with their year-round service with a smile. Located at 126 East Carolina Avenue in Crewe. The accounting surgeons are here for you. Phone 434-538-0595.
Back here at Miller Field, coming to the top of the third. And it is 10-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. They look like they're getting ready to add on some more. And they've had a good year this year. JC will remain pitching for Dunn Construction. Jackson started out, and he kind of had trouble just almost as soon as he went in there. Of course, when you got a team like Eppes Supply, that's not far-fetched. Everybody has trouble with them. A nice pitch that's going to be down there, and they're going to call that a strike one. No balls and one strike.
You hit the ball. Hit it. Come on.
I'm not exactly sure who is up. We'll let you know in just a few minutes. Here comes down the pitch. No balls and one strike. And that one's going to be in there for ball one. 1-1 now comes the account. And boy, Eppes Supply, I think it still remains undefeated. Here comes down the pitch. This one's going to be high for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Want to say hello to my son Robbie, listening to us in Germany. Here comes the next pitch. He's on the way on business. Hope to be back next week sometime. And that last pitch brings the count to 2-2. And also like people listening to us on the internet, www.wpexonline.com. Here comes the next pitch. And that was right down the middle, strike 3. That will take out that batter, and that'll be the first out. So runner stays off the base, at least for now. And so that brings out number 1 for Eppes Supply.
Right out front.
Jackson now looks from the stretch position. He throws it hard against ball. And boy, that's going to be right in there for a base hit. It went right in there to the left fielder, and he scoops up pretty good and keeps it to a single. What a nice hit. I think that was, guess who? Tyler Barham. And that's going to bring up, Downey will be up. My card here is correct. That's Atkins. Ben Atkins will be on deck. Here comes down the pitch. And a swing and a miss in there for strike number 1. So no balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Here at the top of the third. 10-0. Eppes Supply lead. Here comes down the pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll be in there for strike number 2. No balls and 2 strike. Dunn Construction trying to get a 3 up and 3 down if possible. Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be a little bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the sun is out here. Actually, it didn't look like we were going to be able to play about an hour ago. Unfortunately, hear the choo-choo train in the back. Well, we know the train is running. Here comes now the pitch. That one's going to be outside. Ball number 2. 2-2 goes to count. But anyway, it was clouding up. It rained actually about an hour ago. Well, they drugged the field one time, and the field looks like it's actually in pretty good shape. 2-2 is the count. Runner on first base for Eppes Supply. CJ now pitching for Dunn. Right here comes the pitch. And this one's going to be foul back. Now being air for, well, the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Lions and the Chambers will go head-to-head after this game in our Friday night doubleheader. CJ now looks. Here comes down the pitch. And it's a foul back. And they can go nowhere. And that count, all of that remains 2-2 is still the count. We got 1 out. CJ's trying to, well, keep That's the play from just scoring over and over again. Here comes now the pitch. This one's going to be a little bit inside. The runner will go down to second base. Slides on in there.
Hey, you ready, Tyler B?
Tyler Bourne takes a nice run down to second base. He is safe all the way. And now they got a full count, I believe, on Downing.
Close, you got to hit it, son.
Yeah, that's Downing. Here comes now the pitch, swing and a miss. That will be strike number 3. That's the second out.
It'll work it.
Ben Atkins will be on deck, and Big Tyler White is going to be on deck. Here comes now the pitch. Ben Atkins way inside, ball 1, and you don't want to walk Ben Atkins, especially with Tyler White coming up. He's already this game. He's got an infield home run, and he's also got a double that he hit earlier. Here comes now the pitch, and this one's going to be a hard hitting ball that's going to go foul. Kind of went back towards the old press box. And I was when I was announcing yesterday's game with Rotary and VFW, I was up there behind the press box and Beamer and crew, and almost had a couple of balls hit my way, actually in the press box. Runner on second base. We got a 1-1 count. Here comes now the pitch, way low, and now the runner's going to go down to third base, and he will end up at third base, no problem. So with 2 outs, runner will advance to third on third base in its scoring position. And 2 balls and 1 strike now to Ben Atkins. Trouble is, like I mentioned earlier, Big Tyler White, he is up on deck for Eppes Supply. Here comes down the pitch, and this one's going to be in there for strike number 2. Oh, and I'm sorry, ball number 3. Sometimes you can't tell, but of course I've got a fairly decent look at Frank the umpire. Also got a pretty good shot at the video monitor here. Usually Robbie sits in this desk, my son Robbie, doing all this, but I have to do it since he's away. Here comes the next pitch outside, ball 4, and that will be a base on balls. Runners now on third and second. And you can almost count on this next throw. Atkins is going to be going down to second base. Trouble is, oh boy, here comes a timeout. What do you do if you're the Dunn Wright coach? You might see an intentional walk here with Tyler White. I'm going to say Tyler White is probably the Matthew Hart of the minor leagues. He's big, he's strong, he can hit the ball well, and in many ways, I mean he is a good ball player. Okay, runners on second and third and Tyler White. Here comes down the pitch, and that was way in the dirt, and there goes the runner down to second base. The run on third base will stay right where he's at. And I don't even think CJ was even trying to pitch to him. Like I said, this might be intentionally walking this guy, not giving him anything he can hit. 10-0, I can understand why. Don't want to build their lead up anymore. You got 2 outs. I might consider walking him too. Just load the bases up. Here comes now the pitch. Casey looks, winds up, throws the ball in a hard hit, and that one's going to go foul and almost into the crowd. And everybody's going to come back 1-1. That's one thing that JC better be careful of, especially to Tyler White. Tyler White just absolutely nailed that ball. So 1-1 is now the count with 2 outs. 10-0, Eppes Supply lead here at the top of the third. Here comes JC now. Winds up. Here comes the pitch. outside. Ball number 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is where a lot of times you'll see something happens on a 2 balls and 1, or a 2-1 count, rather. This is where the pitcher will try to run right down the middle, and someone like Tyler White, and you can see another home run. Here comes now the pitch. JC winds up and delivers. Hard hit ball. This one's going to go right up to middle for a base hit. JC's now going to go to second, and now he comes back to third, but a run will score, and now it makes it 12. Actually, 2 runs to score, 12-0. Here at the top of the third. Well, folks, when we get this game, we'll sell a lot of DVDs on this one, I guess. But anyway, here comes down the pitch. There goes Tyler White down. Second base, they're going to try to get him. He slides in there. And he's going to be safe, but Tyler gets him. He's running third. And now he's running towards third. And he was on first base and made it all the way to third on just errors. And you can't do that. Nope. Sure can't. Moo Morrison. We know him from baseball. He's a speedster. He's at bat with 1 strike. JC now looks, winds up. Here comes the pitch. That ball's going to be high in there for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hear noise in the background. Well, that's Chamber kind of hitting the batting cage, and they're kind of winding up. 1-1 is a count with 2 outs. JC looks, now winds up. Runner on third base. Here comes the pitch. And this one's a good stop by the catcher, a little bit low. That one's going to be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. They got 2 outs. And boy, they had a chance on getting 3 outs without nobody scoring. Trouble is, though, they had Tyler and Downing and Atkins and White up.
Go get Mo and let me see you run. Boy.
Now they got Momo Morrison that's up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes now the pitch. And it's going to be swing and a miss. And this one's going to go down. Oh, he's going to come home. Tyler White does, and Tyler White will score. That makes it 13-0. There's one good thing. That does clear the bases for Dunn. At least they ain't got to worry about any more runners on board, that's for sure. And JC right now has got enough to worry about. Here comes now the pitch to Momo Morrison. That's going to be high once again. And that's going to be, brings the count to full, 3 balls and 1 strike. And they're in danger of walking Momo Morrison. Another full count situation for poor CJ for Dunright. As he finds himself trailing 13-0 here at the top of the third. Here comes the windup. Here comes now the pitch. And that was strike number 3 and strikes him out for the 3rd out. So no one left on base. We had several errors, about 2 errors, and the score is 13-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. We're going to be right back right after these messages.
The best stuff ever. Brought to you by Radio Shack.
I need a new phone, so I'll go to Radio Shack, take their advice, and buy a Sony Ericsson Z750 with AT&T service. It has a 2-megapixel camera, FM radio, and a web browser, so I can surf the internet. And then one day at a car dealership, I'll find the price of a car too high, but the salesman won't agree, and he'll throw me a challenge, and he'll give me the car for free if I find it for cheaper, so I'll use the internet on my phone, find it for cheaper, and get it for free. And I'll owe it all to Radio Shack.
Don't just buy stuff.
Do stuff. See your local Radio Shack dealer at Southside Electronics, Blackstone Square Shopping Center.
What does your world sound like? That's geography. The music of the world around you. Geography is people, places, environments, and economics. Geography gives us the framework for understanding our world. But sadly, our kids aren't getting enough of it. Half can't locate economic powers like Japan and India, and 20% can't even find the Pacific Ocean. That's why we created MyWonderfulWorld.org. It's part of a free National Geographic-led campaign to give our kids the power of global knowledge. Go to MyWonderfulWorld.org to learn more and get your free parent and teacher action kits. It's a wonderful world.
Back here at Miller Field, I'm John Hart, and it's 13-0 in favor of Eppes Supply. And we're going to stop the DVD. Well, actually, no, I think we're going to stay on this thing. This game might be over. I think I'm going to want to keep it right here. I also want to say hello to people who are listening on www.wpexonline.com. Okay, Dunn is up. And here comes down the pitch. Way in. Well, that was actually in there for a strike. Sorry about that, folks. On camera there. Now we're right. So we got no balls and one strike. Here comes the next pitch. And that one's going to be a little bit short in there for ball number one. One ball and one strike now. Not sure who is up here for Dunn, but we'll just wing it. Here comes the next pitch. Ball is high in there for two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sometimes they don't give me jersey numbers, and I don't always know who's actually pitching or catching or batting. That happens. Here comes the next pitch. That's in there for strike number 2. 2-2 is the count. Dunn backup pitcher is pitching awful good too. Here comes the next pitch. Strike. Oh, that was a little bit close.
On him now.
And that's going to be to count the full 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Work on the zone. You can do it. Grab back and show.
Here comes the windup. Here comes down the pitch.
That's it. Way to work.
And that one's strike number 3. Oh, that was close. Oh, they're going to walk the runner. But boy, Frank Walker, that was awful close. Well, you got to understand, you got to give Frank the benefit of the doubt. He's a Cowboys fan. Oh boy, I'm gonna catch a lot of flack over that. So, anyway, here comes now. The ball is going to be hit, and they're going to try to throw it to first. They don't get him at first. He was pulled Tyler White off. Oh no, they do get him. I'm sorry, they do get him. They'll be up there for the first down. So, with 1 out, I think Raymond.
Number strikes there, Ben. Number strikes.
Ben Atkins, by the way, is pitching. Raymond is up. Ben Atkins throws this one down here for strike number 1.
Let's chunk that ball.
And
maybe I can get him, man.
Help with Jay on deck. Here comes down the pitch. Strike number 2. And Ben Atkins has kind of come along for Eppes Supply, and he's pitching good.
Work on him, son. Work on him.
No balls and 2 strikes. He got 1 out. Here comes the pitch. And that one's going to be low. Ball 1. 1 and 2 now is the count. They got 1 out. And Eppes Supply is leading with a nice, cool 13-0 lead. Wind up by Atkins. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike, and he ends up getting into the strikeout thing. That brings up 2 down. Runner will be on second base, as you see right there. You can see my little pointer. Here comes now the pitch. That's going to be in there for strike number 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No balls and 1 strike. And we got one more game coming up after this. Chamber and Lions are going to go. Oh, kind of a changeup. And boy, that was kind of a bloop one that just kind of fell in there for strike number 2.
They're back in chunk, man.
Runner on second base for Dunn, but they haven't scored at all. It looks like it's almost going to be a shutout. And this one's going to be a hard hit ball, and it hit right in front of the fence, in front of the white elephant. I want to say I missed you guys last night. Missed being here at Miller Field. We're over there at Beamer. And Mr. White Elephant is up there in the press box, although I was treated really, really well there. Here comes now the next pitch way outside, and the runner will remain at second base. And what I was going to say is this Rotary lost our heartbreaker 3-2. Matthew Hart with 10 strikeouts in that game, but they came up short. Here comes down the pitch, and this one's going to be a high fly ball. It went all the way over the fence. Unfortunately, it was foul ball down the first base line. Someone yelled Logan Powell. We might see how Logan Powell is doing right after this game. We'll give you a report when we get ready to start the next game.
Look at me every pitch, okay?
Okay, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ben Atkins, Coach saying, now Ben, look at me at every pitch because he's telling him what to throw. Okay, runner on second base. Here comes down the pitch, and that's going to be a changeup. Drops in there for strike 3, and that's going to retire to 3, and I think that might be the ball game. And let's see if that's going to be the ball game or not. And but I'm kind of surprised if they're going. I guess they're going to be time limit is almost here. Well, not quite. So we're going to be right back right after these messages right here on the Southside Sports Radio Network.
These are not your ordinary doctors. They are the accounting surgeons. Allow them to show you the personal attention it takes in order to receive every single deduction you deserve. The accounting surgeons and crew are here for you all year long, not just January to May. Whether you need tax preparation, payroll work, or bookkeeping services, call the accounting surgeons today. 434-538-0595. They offer very reasonable rates along with their year-round service with a smile. Located at 126 East Carolina Avenue in Crewe. The accounting surgeons are here for you. Phone 434-538-0595.
Back here at Miller Field, 13-0 here at the top of the 4th. And Eppes Supply will be coming up to bat. My goodness, we're talking about a 13-0 lead. And I'm surprised they haven't called this game yet. They do probably got 5. I think they got like 5 more minutes left in the game. But 13-0. I don't think they're going to have a chance of catching up. But
what?
I think Frank should probably call this by now. At any rate, if that's the case, let's see who will be coming up. For Eppes Supply, I believe it's going to be Hunter Morgan will be up. Caleb Elvis will be on deck for Eppes Supply. So here comes down the pitch. This one's going to be in there for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So we just got to the top of the 4th with a 13-0 lead for Eppes Supply. That one's going to be in there for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Jeremy, let Evan back in.
I know. Michael, bring Tyler.
2 balls and no strikes. Pitch will kind of hold up for a second on the mound. Here comes now the pitch. Way outside, ball 3.
My head fits through here.
And it looks like Hunter Morgan is getting ready to walk. And Caleb Elvis will be on deck. Here comes now the pitch. Foul back. Now being in for strike number 1.
Oh, you got this!
That's what you said.
2 balls and 1 strike. You can hear it.
Let's go! Let's go!
Eppes Supply is trying to hard hit ball, and that's going to be right to the first baseman. JC, when plays first base, tags him out. And sorry I didn't get the camera on that one, folks, but anyway, a good play by JC for out number 1, and that brings up Caleb Elvis. Morgan kind of chopped at that one and dribbled it down first base. Here comes down the pitch, and Caleb swings and he misses. She misses, rather, for strike number 1. No ball and 1 strikes. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be in there for strike number 2. This could bring up a very important second out. Like, again, I'm surprised he started on the so with no balls and 2 strikes, here comes now the pitch. So we look, winds up, here comes down the pitch. That one's going to be in there for ball 1. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to McCaleb. Hunter Russell, Hunter Morgan was up, but Hunter Russell followed McCaleb. And that one's going to be in there for ball number 2. 2 and 2 now goes to Caleb Elvis. Here comes down the pitch. She swings and misses. Strikeout number 2. And that will... All right, finding what's going on here. A lot of balls being thrown around, but nothing's going to be happening. It's got 2 outs up there. That's going to bring up Hunter Russell that's up. Here comes the pitch. Beautiful pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 1. 1 ball and no strikes. They got 2 outs. And I'm surprised they ain't called this one. 7:37 here, local time. Next game is going to be starting late. And the ball is hit, but it hit the ground, and that will make the runner go to first base. He actually hit the runner. Runner's on first base for Eppes Supply, but they got 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Nick Worley is up. Worley will see if he can start doing something. But he ain't got to. All they got to do is just stay in the game, I guess. They lead 13-0. First throw is in there with strike 1 for Dunn. No balls and 1 strike. Here at the top of the 4th. And a hard hit ball. Trailed that one right in front of the white elephant. Oh boy. That was in there for strike number 2. And Dunwright's is only 1 strike away. And they'll probably call the game after that one. I don't know if they're going to let Dunwright have the last ups or not, but here comes down the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3.
All right, that was a good cut. I'm wrong with
that. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen. They might be calling the game after this. Nope, they're going to go out there for 1 more inning. Or not 1 more inning, but I guess they just want to get the official 4 innings in. Well, wait a minute. Here comes Frank that's out there that's going to talk to the managers, and they might call the game after this. And let's see what they're going to do. I think they're going to be calling it. And seeing what's happening. So looks like they're going to call the game, and that's going to be... No, they're not going to call the game. They're going to try. They're going to give Dunwright 1 last shot.
Go to first base and let Tyler call it too.
Oh, boy. Okay. So with that, we'll be right back right after these messages.
What does your world sound like? That's geography. The music of the world around you. Geography is people, places, environments, and economics. Geography gives us the framework for understanding our world. But sadly, our kids aren't getting enough of it. Half can't locate economic powers like Japan and India, and 20% can't even find the Pacific Ocean. That's why we created MyWonderfulWorld.org. It's part of a free National Geographic-led campaign to give our kids the power of global knowledge. Go to MyWonderfulWorld.org to learn more and get your free parent and teacher action kits. It's a wonderful world.
And a hard-hit ball, by the way, by number 3 for Dunright. And he runs around. I'm sorry I had to interrupt the commercial there.
All right, no harm done now.
And, boy, let's see who that was.
You got to be there for the battle does. Runner does.
All right, Ben. Don't worry about
Well, anyway,
We'll
see what happens. Anyway, here comes the pitch. That was a triple by that runner. Hard hit ball. There goes the runner. He will come down, and he will score. So it's 13-1 now in favor of Eppes Supply. All right, here we go. JC will be up. So the guy that must have did that must have been Cameron. DeMorris just got a base hit, and now JC, the left-hander, is up. Runners on second base. Here comes the pitch. That one's going to be high. There goes the runner down second base, and they're not going to even try to do that. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to...
jump there, man, to the middle.
Now this one's going to be close because we're an hour and a half on our DVD. Here comes down the pitch. So the DVD quits on us, folks, because we're running out of time. Usually we go to a second DVD. But 13-1, I'm not going, unless they start catching up, I'm not going to stop this thing. Here comes down the next pitch. And that one's going to be in there for strike number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner on second base now for Dunn Wright Construction. So that's Supply looking. Here comes now the pitch. And that one's going to be in the dirt. There goes the runner down second base. Slides in there, and he shall be safe.
Tightened up.
So, with no outs, Dunn Wright's got a man in scoring position. They got 3 balls and no strikes now to JC. Cameron will be on deck for Dunright. Here comes the pitch. Must have been Tyree that made that big hit a while ago. Sorry about that, Tyree. JC will now walk.
Momo.
That puts runners on second and third. And that is going to bring up Jackson. That's going to be up. Runners on second and third. Here comes down the pitch. Hard hit ball. And that is going to...
Hold it. Jackson, pitch out.
They almost threw that ball away.
Calm down.
And nobody will score. But boy, that was almost an overthrow, and that could have been disastrous. Well, I say disastrous. You have 13-2 lead. That's not so bad.
Nick.
1 run will score.
Nick, if it hits you, just tag your bag.
That puts runners on first and second for Dunright with no outs.
We're going.
Trouble is, time is running out for these guys. That one's going to be way inside, ball 1. And folks, I guess we are going to have to go to the second DVD. So we're going to do that right now.
Back third up.